Sometimes we think certain things about love only to discover they're not true. I'll give you an example. Some people might say love is peace. I don't believe that's correct. And today we'll look at my thoughts on love is not peace, which when you first hear it, you might think, that seems strange to me, Matt. Let me tell you a quick story from my own life recently that might give you an idea of what I mean. A few months ago, I was in the San Diego area recording the audiobook for this book, Journey to Love, and I was staying in a hotel, and next door there was a convenience store, and I had walked over to get a snack, so some water and some tortilla chips. And as I came out, there was a young man and a young woman in the middle of an argument. Now, is that loving? No. I'm not saying arguing is necessarily loving. But as they continued to argue, I realized what was happening is the young woman was breaking up with the man. And it seemed unsafe, unhealthy, it seemed strange. And he was saying really abusive things to her about how stupid she was, about how wrong she was to break up with him. Are you kidding me? These sorts of things, cursing at her. And so I just sat nearby and watched for a little bit. Now, let me ask you this. There would be more peace between the three of us if I just let them be and just walked away. Didn't worry about the aggressive way this man was going after this woman, and just left them to their own business. It would be polite, right? It would be peaceful. But is it loving? Now, I'm not saying everyone needs to intervene every time they see something on the street or anything like that, but I'm just using this to say this. In this situation, is it more loving or less loving for me to intervene on behalf of this young woman? I think it's much more loving. And so I stepped into the conversation, and there are a lot of good ways to do this. And essentially, I just said to her, you're doing the right thing. This guy's being abusive to you. Do you need help? Now, the guy turned his attention to me. And again, not suggesting that everyone needs to do this or should do this or do it the same way. He turned his attention to me, which allowed her to step away. She called a friend who came and got her and took her out of the situation. So I think back on this story and I think absolutely. The most loving thing in that moment was not to embrace peace in the sense of ignoring it, letting it go, avoiding conflict, but rather to step into a place where there was no peace and to embrace that and provide a path toward safety, toward healing. So sometimes love is not peace, and we're going to look at that more closely today.